Hey guys, and welcome to the channel. So in today's Star Citizen video, I wanted to talk to you guys about using an Xbox controller for flight. Right now, this is not Xbox controller to play the whole game with. This is Xbox controller mixed with a little bit of keyboard inputs, but mostly for just smooth flight and combat flight. Now, you can fly around the verse with this, you can do your quantum jumps and things like that, no problem with the controller, but there are a lot of keybinds, and when you start to add so many keybinds to that controller, it just becomes a complete mess. You're, left bumpering this, right bumpering that, why, it just gets to be crazy. So I found that actually mixing it with, your regular just keyboard controls. The way I play, I have my kind of controller right in front of my keyboard, and it's so easy to just take my hand off and click a button if I need to switch modes or go into a different thing. And I just set my controller off to the side when it's time to, say, do some mining or salvaging or anything like that. So this is specifically talking about combat and kind of smooth flight. Now, we're going to go down to a planet, and I kind of just want to do some flying around and kind of show you what I mean by the different controls, the different things that you can use, and I want to show you what my keybinds are set as. Now, I wiped the keybinds and did my own keybinds for this because the ones that are set through Star Citizen itself, it has its own kind of keybind setup and layout. I just did not find it as intuitive. I did not like the zoom in, the focus for the left trigger. I found like switching something like that to boost worked so much better. So I will give you guys my actual keybinds for this as we're talking about it. So let's get down to a planet and check this out. Okay guys, we are here on the beautiful Magna, and we're just going to start with like some of the basic flight controls, right? So I'm on the pad. We are in our third person right here, and using the thumbsticks work pretty much just like you would if you had, two flight sticks, except that there's modifiers for doing strafe, as there is no twist to do the strafing up and down, which does make it a little bit jerkier than, say, the flight sticks themselves, but it works pretty well. So to take off, we're just gonna hold our left bumper, we are gonna fly up, and then as soon as you let go, you're moving forward. We're going to press down on our D-pad on our controller, which is going to pull up our landing gear. Our right stick is going to be used for pitch and roll. So we have pitch, which is up and down, and we have roll, which is left and right for roll. Now our left thumbstick is also throttle forward backwards, and we're also going to be able to yaw left and right. So that's what gives us kind of that jet fighter, is kind of the layout that I have it set as. So as you can see, we're rolling along, and you can just kind of get that real smooth jet fighter type kind of angles going, where it's really smooth. You're flying through the mountains, and we are going really slow, and I'm going to show y'all how to work the speed limiter as well. So if we jump back into the ship right here, now you can see our speed limiter over there. And if you watch it, we're going to hit left on our bumper, and we're just going to push up, and it's going to increase our velocity all the way up. And then we have max thrust. So now we're at max thrust going through here, and you can see it's extremely smooth, guys. It's using the controller for flight is just amazing. You get the nice smoothness. The banks are nice. The rolls are nice. It's just like using flight sticks, especially when you're kind of definitely moving, or, even when you're in combat. Keeping that little pip, keeping your, the nose of your ship on that pip is, it can mean, winning or losing in a battle. So let's jump into some of the controls here, and let me show you exactly how I have this set up. So we're going to come in here, we're going to go to options, and we're going to go to keybinds. Right down here, you're going to see keyboard and mouse. You're going to flip that to gamepad. And you can see right here, now these are the standard layout for what they use and stuff like that. Now they want you to use like the star map, the Mold B glass, and all that. I mean, you're supposed to be able to play the whole game with this, which is why everybody's saying that there's a console port coming, right? That's what the whole point of this master modes is for this console port. However, it works so much better, so much easier if you use your keybinds on your keyboard plus a controller. If you just think about using your controller for flight, it kind of takes so much off the table. I mean, there's so many controls to remember. Modifier 1, you know, it's just, there's so many of them, and it just gets crazy, especially trying to remember what everything does from flight to mining to salvage to on foot. So we're going to go down here to advanced control customization, and you can come over here to flight movement. That's where we're kind of going to start. See, I have my pitch set to y-axis, yaw, x-axis, left thumbstick. We have our roll set to the x-axis, right thumbstick. And we have our strafe up down to our left shoulder button, which is, I call it the left bumper, and the y-axis left thumbstick. So that's strafe up and down, and you can strafe left and right with your left shoulder button. So left, you know, left bumper and your x-axis. And then you have your y-axis for throttle forward and back. So that's just forward and back on the left stick. Like this is set up just like you would fly like a jet in a game. Like I've set it to old school style. Boost, I changed this to left trigger. So much easier than trying to push the thumbstick in as they originally have it set. I'm telling you, it's just crazy trying to use the boost with the thumbstick. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel smooth. You have trouble sometimes when you're trying to move the thumbstick and push it down at the same time. It just becomes a nightmare right here. Then we have our speed limiter, increase and decrease. Now that is just the left bumper and up and down on the D-pad. Super easy to remember. Now I can try to do like a snippet on the screen here pretty soon at the end of the video to kind of show you the layouts themselves, or I'll do a quick write-up of this. But I think it's easier if I just show you in here, and then you can pause the video as you need to rather than try to do that at the end. It just makes more sense this way. So the space brake I have as the left bumper and the left D-pad, and I have the landing system as down on the D-pad. So that's landing gear up and down. You just hit it, it goes down, you hit it again, it goes up. It's that simple. You can see whether it's up or down on the actual ship itself. VTOL, I have the left shoulder button and the right D-pad. For those of you who are flying with ships that have VTOL. Request landing. This is a really big one when you're flying. So the right D-pad, it's real quick. Boom. You don't actually have to hit Alt in. I found it very simple to do. Master modes themselves, to go into quantum mode and stuff, is just left on the D-pad. Super simple as well. And I also have the request jump to up on the D-pad. So that is the simplest layout, strictly speaking, about flight. That is just flight. Now let's move real fast into some of the combat. Now I will click on right here on the quantum travel. That is the right trigger. So once it spools, you're lined up, you just hit the right trigger and it jumps. Just like you would if you click the left mouse button if you were playing on mouse and keyboard. Now vehicle targeting, I don't have anything set except this unlock current target, which is the left thumbstick. But I do have target cycling here, left shoulder button and up. So that's how I lock my target that's in the front view. Now, this is specific to how you guys want to play. There are so many different ways to pin. You can set the closest friendliest, the closest hostile, however you want to play. So if you're just going to be doing combat, and you're just going to be doing, like, you know, your bounties and stuff, and you're just going to be fighting hostiles, it may be easiest to, if you want the closest guy to lock onto, you can just quickly come in here and reset that left bumper and up to this. So in other words, you would come in here, click it, right click it, it goes away, and then you'd come in here and reset it. I like it forward personally, so I'm going to hold the left button and press up. And that's how you set it. So that is my basic settings for that. Now, you're going to need to set something for missiles, right? Which brings into your master mode, your operator modes, right? So you're going to need to come in here, and I have my next operator mode set to B. So that's going to switch you from, say, standard mode to missile mode to scan mode, which is very helpful. You can just cycle through them, and you can cycle through them extremely fast here. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to come down here to missiles, because your ship's going to have missiles since we're specifically talking about combat. Now, I have the next cycle missile to X, and I have the increased number of missiles on the left shoulder button to X. Now to switch, remember, you're going to switch to this mode by pressing B. Now once you're in that missile mode, this is what you're going to use for those missiles. You're going to cycle the next missile type if you want to cycle it with X, or you do the left button and you arm the missiles. And let's do that right now. Let me show you how this actually works. Okay, so we are in the ship. We're flying. Now, we're going to say there's somebody on the horizon. We're going to go into missile mode. So that's scan. And then we are in missile mode right here. You can see up at the top, I have ignites. I have 4. They are armed. Now, say I want to switch to an X missile. Now, if I had another missile, I would just hit X one time and it would switch to the different missile type. But in this case, I'm in a Titan. It does not. It only has 4 ignites. But say I want to fire more than one. Now, if you look at the top left-hand corner where it says armed, out to the right it says 1 of 1. You just hold that left bumper down and hit X, and now I have 2 of 2. Then I have 3 of 3 or 4 of 4. And then you can go back to 1 of 1, which it doesn't have to load again because you automatically have 1 ready to go. And that's it, guys. You would hit your left bumper and you would target with the up on the D-pad, switch to your missile mode, and now we're back to regular weapons mode, as you can see. So, how about flares? So flares, I did to my A button. So you can see right here, you hit A, and it drops 1 flare, as you can just hear it. Or you can hold down A, and it'll do more than 1 flare. So you can hold A, and then go, and it'll release more than 1 flare. You can figure about 1 flare a second that you hold it. So if you go 1, 2, it'll drop 2 flares. Now, how about noise? Left bumper, also A. Keep it super simple, guys. And there you go. And we dropped the noise, as you can see. So, keeping it simple is the most important part. Keeping it smooth, keeping it simple, not trying to put too many controls on the controller is just the best way I've had it. I used to have quite a few buttons on the controller. Man, jumping back and forth, I'd always forget what I was doing. I'd press the left bumper and the wrong one, and it just so just keeping it simple is the best part. So again, A for flares, and left bumper and A is what I use for the noise. Now, guys, you can set these keybinds up however you want. I extremely advise you to go into Arena Commander and play with it and test it. It took me a while to figure out like how I wanted the settings, which ones I wanted to put to a modifier versus not a modifier. By modifier, I mean holding down another button to press another button, a second button to get it to work, which kind of makes a hindrance on the controllers itself versus using maybe sticks, right? I'm going to end up getting more sticks, but this is a perfect setup for just messing around the verse, especially if you're just doing like PvE type stuff. PvP, I've had pretty decent. It's like 50-50. I think I need a little bit more practice with the controller. It's difficult to kind of strafe, but being able to keep your pip, your ship on the target on the pip is so much easier, I find, than mouse and keyboard. Not that mouse and keyboard isn't good. You can do just fine on mouse and keyboard. I just find it a little bit, I'm not going to say better, I'm going to say smoother. So yeah, I hope this is helping. I hope this is decent for showing some keybinds. Again, at the end here, I'll see if I can do some snips and put this up on the screen in like a kind of a form to show what I've been using, what I've been keybinding these as. As you can see, guys, it's super smooth. It's beautiful. Just messing around with this with a controller, especially just sitting at it. If you're sitting at a computer, you're sitting at a screen, and you're just chilling with your, your controller. Just it makes it so much more fun to fly like this. So yeah, guys, so we're gonna come over here. We're gonna come down here to the open area. Again, we're gonna hit our left bumper. We're gonna go down on the speed limiter. We are gonna hit our left bumper again, and we're gonna strafe down to go down for a landing. We're gonna drop our landing gear, slow ourselves. And just like that, we're down. It's super smooth with a controller, super easy. Again, you can go, when you go up, you can go up. You can also strafe left and right by holding the left bumper. So yeah, guys, anyways, I hope that helps. I hope that shows you that using an Xbox controller is easier than it looks. It doesn't have to be overwhelming. It doesn't have to be something that's just got, 90 buttons. You can kind of switch between using, your keyboard keybinds and your Xbox controller keybinds. So what we'll do is we're going to go up into space. I am going to switch to my quantum mode. We're going to boost up. This is all using the controller. And you can see my shields are coming down. Switching to SCM mode. We're spooling up. Right trigger. And we jump. It's super smooth to navigate with this. Now going into the map and everything, of course, I'm going to hit F2 if I'm trying to mark a, a destination, a spot or something like that. That's what I mean by going back and forth. But okay, guys, I do not want to ramble anymore with this. I hope this helped you guys. I hope it goes to show you that it can be super smooth with the controller again. As always, guys, if you have questions, please leave them below. If you need a, if this helped and you need like a more in-depth video, please leave a comment and I can go like much deeper into how to actually set every keybind. We can go step by step if need be, but again, I think putting them on the screen will help you. The best way to do it is to go in, clear all the keybinds, and then set what I have if you like the setup that I'm using, or maybe it'll give you a baseline. Thanks as always for the support, guys. It's much appreciated. Thanks for the likes, comments. Thank you for the subs lately. Try to get as much informational video out as I can about the game for what people are asking for. And as always, guys, I will see you on the next video.